this is one of the things that make people struggle, and that is your mouth. Your mouth, what you say with your mouth. When you are in problems, what are the things you're saying while you are in that problem? It matters a lot. What you say, because what you say is a reflection of your heart, what you're thinking on the inside. I remember when I was extremely sick. I was extremely sick. That throughout that night, I don't even know, like I don't even know what happened. I remember going for a crusade, and in that crusade, I was extremely cold. I was very, like, the cold was from inside, like it wasn't like I was extremely cold, but I was sweating, like outwardly, I was sweating, and I was sick. And no matter how my sisters, they put on the stockings, I drank something hot. Nothing was like, it was all through the night. I was just shaking. I couldn't wait for it. I couldn't wait for it to be the next day. When it got to the next day, my siblings, they carried me outside to keep me under the sun. I was under the sun. I was still cold until the man that had owned that building came around. And when he looked at me, he's like, she's not going to like make it. She's not going to like make it. My sisters, they started crying. He was like, they should quickly wear me something and so that it could take me to the hospital. So I got into the car. I was weak. I was extremely weak. I was losing, it's almost like I didn't know what was happening around me anymore. And my siblings were crying, and then there was a pastor I had once stayed with. So one of my sister called the pastor and was like, she's dying, she's dying. She now said, put the phone on her ear. And she was like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm dying. She's like, I don't want you to like say anything. I want you to like, the only thing I want you to like do is speak in tongues till you get to the hospital. She said, did you hear me? I said, yes, ma'am. She's like, I want you to speak in tongues till you get to the hospital. And that's what I did. I was like, because the whatever was so low, my voice was so low. A lot of times people say, why do you speak in tongues? Because tongues builds you up. It's the language of the spirit. It's the language of you and your Father God. Just like the way you have, the English language, but when you enter the fold, like when you become born again, that is the language given to you because you are a spirit being, but you live inside a body. So this is not the real you. The inside, which is your spirit is the real you. So your spirit begins like communicate with the Father. So I was communicating with my Father. I was speaking in tongues, lakatus kabbalah shatai. I kept speaking. I might not understand what I was like saying, but I know I was arranging my life. I was arranging the doctors that were going to like attend to me. Kabbalos kabbaladishka. You will never know the importance of speaking in tongues until you start speaking. The things speaking in tongues has done for me, because when I didn't understand it, at that some point when people like speak and I'll be laughing, I didn't know what I was missing. I didn't know what I was missing until the day I got filled. And what was so this, I don't know, with me, that's whew. There's always something about the Spirit of God. When you talk about Him, there's like, it just fills you up. There's just this warmth that you feel that I wouldn't be able to like explain. It's this warmth feeling. You can feel His presence. People think He's just smoke or like, I don't know what they imagine, but He's a person. You feel His presence, and His presence is here. That's why I get like that. And I got to the hospital. By the time I got to the hospital, they were trying to like open my mouth because my teeth was like, but I had spoken those words into the atmosphere. I had arranged the doctors that were going to like attend to me. That's what the Spirit of God does. When you speak when you speak in tongues, you are arranging things in the realms of the Spirit. There are things you will never get with, because the language you speak is so limited. When you speak in tongues, you are like, there is just a lot that you're accomplishing and you have no idea. That's why Paul says, I speak in tongues more than ye all. That means it wasn't until he got to a place of prayer that he would start speaking in tongues. It means wherever he went to, he was speaking in tongues. Whether he was washing plates, it was like Kaba Sukata Yaba. Whether he was in a toilet, he was speaking in tongues. Whether he was in shower, he was speaking in tongues. Like I love to do when I'm in the showers, because that is where it's my personal space. That's where I love to speak to God, and He hears me. So when you're going through stuff in your life and you're struggling, what are you saying at that moment? Because what you say at that moment is so crucial, so important. I remember when my first marriage was over, and everything was so bad, and I had moved into this empty house with my children, with my 2 kids, no money, no money at all. And you sit down and you think about your life, like, how did I get here? I said, God, with all that I knew, how did I get here? And I sat on that toilet and I was crying. I wouldn't let my children see me because I was crying. How did I get here? How did I, from point A to Z, like from 100 to 0, nothing. No money to like start my life with children. It would have been just okay if it was me. I know I can look for a way and fend for myself, but children need to eat. And I was moving into this new place, no food, nothing. It was a new environment. I knew nobody. And I laid on that floor and I looked up and I saw, like, this place is pretty. Because when you're going through stuff, like, if you're surrounded, this, like, you're not aware of your environment anymore. If you pass by the gate and someone asks you what's the color of the gate, you probably wouldn't even know, because you're so consumed by what is going on with you, with the trouble. So when I entered this house, I just laid on the floor after I was done crying, and I looked up. For 2 days, I was just there on that floor. And I looked up, I'm like, oh my God, this place is so pretty. And I said, God, I'm so sorry. I am so ungrateful. I am so ungrateful, Lord. I am so sorry, God. I said, there are people that are they don't have a place to stay. But I started from ground zero, but I have a roof over my head. And that's why I was apologizing to God. And I began to thank Him. I'm like, God, everything is working out for my good. And then I heard a knock on the door. And the neighbor upstairs, I hadn't met her before. And she came, she sent someone to us with 4 bowls of food. And she's like, oh, we are having a naming ceremony today. We are naming our son today, that we just wanted to like give you this food. You will never understand how that felt. That there was food for my children to eat. I wasn't even bothered about myself. God provided. When I was able to like recognize His presence in my life, He sent help. So I don't know where you are in your life and things are not moving well for you. What are you saying? Are you giving the atmosphere more words to like work with? The Bible talks about in Proverbs 18:21, it says, life and death are in the power of the tongue. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. You see, this tongue, as small as it is, causes war, brings about peace. So the wars that are starting in different nations, how did it start? With the tongue, what they said.